we were on the crap on Elon Musk early, and Michael particularly so, was heavily invested in calling out what a charlatan Elon Musk was. And this actually worked out pretty well for Elon Musk. There was only 45 minutes. Let me put it this way. Last night, I live streamed it. Mm-hmm. The idea that it took me less time to figure out how to work OBS on my computer and to actually like set it up and actually do it than it did Elon Musk to set up his. It's not even video. It's just like a voice.
Literally just audio medium.
It's radio. Like, why not just broadcast it on the radio? But they had.
I did college radio, and it was more sophisticated than their output last night.
This is a conference call, basically.
But that's the thing is that this technology is like, this is stuff that has existed for decades. 2004, granted, it was real audio, but it existed. And all he's got to do is he's putting it on a website. Now, maybe they don't have the servers there to support it. I don't know.
Maybe they're not paying for it.
He claimed...
Yeah.
He claimed that there was a DDoS attack. And honestly, like,
to say.
I am going to say that whenever I F up any type of technology going forward, because I'll tell you something. There was no DDoS attack. I mean, let's be honest. Everybody who's a grown-up knows that he just, whatever reason, they couldn't get it together.
If you forget to like respond to one of your friends' texts, you say, "Oh, there's someone, my phone. There's something going on with my phone. The service was being denied."
Right. But I thought it would be sort of like, I said this on the stream last night. I'd once read a review of someone who I knew. I had done a play, and it was he was not a playwright, and the review though was magnificent, and it came up with this quote: "There are some things that are so bad they're good. This was worse," and that's the only way that I could explain this to you. We obviously I tuned in because I thought it would be fun, and it was just boring. And
what was with Trump's lisp?
The only sort of interesting thing was everybody was trying to figure out why is he lisping? And at first I thought oh, this has got to be something I'm doing wrong. Like I'm sending out like a double signal on my stream. And nope, it was the lisp. And then someone had put a picture of dentures, which I used as the background for the entire broadcast after I saw that on
beautiful.
Twitter. But if I were to say sort of the three things that we learned, it's one, Elon Musk is incapable of carrying a conversation, and it's particularly hard with two sort of all-out narcissists who don't listen to each other. Two, Donald Trump still wants to run against Joe Biden and is attempting to will it into existence by bringing him up at every turn.
It's incredible.
Almost ignoring Kamala Harris as the candidate.
Keep it up.
And three, it turns out, and I learned this from Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they both added to this. All-out thermonuclear war would be bad for the planet.
Cosign.
Here is convicted felon Donald Trump describing to Elon Musk about this, in some ways, this whole election is fraudulent because he should be running against Joe Biden. And that's what he signed up for. This is clip number 2.
Rough people. And they're doing it right now while this third-rate phony candidate.
Pause it for 1 second. Even now, it's even clearer. I can hear it even more. Third-rate succotash. Yeah, that's what it was. So somebody sent me because I was trying to think what cartoon character it is, and it's suffering succotash. It was this cat. No, it was a cat.
Sylvester the cat.
Sylvester the cat. All right, go back. I mean, listen. I know people who have lisps. Some of my best friends have had lisps, but like, where's all of a sudden he developed this list?
Some of your best friends have had lisps, so you're starting to talk like Trump after listening to him last
I know
night.
so many. I love lists.
Binders full of people with lisps.
Go ahead.
While this third-rate phony candidate, don't forget, I beat Biden. He failed in the debate miserably. And, some people said, oh, gee, it's too bad. It's too bad he did so badly, or I did well in the debate. The first night they said, wow, one of the people at CNN said that was the greatest debate performance I've ever witnessed. And then 2 days later, they didn't talk about that. They just said he was bad. But that's okay. That's the way I get treated, and I don't mind that at all. What I can tell you is this. We cannot have a Democrat. We cannot have her. She's incompetent. She's as bad as Biden in a different... Look, she hasn't done an interview since this whole scam started. And say what you want. This was a coup. This was a coup of a president of the United States. He didn't want to leave, and they said, we can do it the nice way, or we can do it the hard way.
Yeah, they just took him out back behind the shed and basically shot him.
What they did with this guy, and I'm no fan of his, and he was a horrible president, the worst president in history. So I had a good relationship.
Which is why I'm wishing and like crying to myself to sleep that I'm running, that I could be running against him. It's incredible.
It's amazing how he can't get past this. And I just found it. There was one moment where at the beginning, Musk was trying to they were talking about the assassination attempt. And I was really struck, I've watched the video. I was really struck how little insight Trump could offer as the target. Like he literally just there wasn't a single thing that he expressed in terms of an emotion or something that happened from his perspective. It was very bizarre. But Elon Musk was trying to was trying to get very conspiratorial with how was it that he could take that shot from 160 yards away, and that shot is very difficult. It's very hard to believe that someone would have
That's why he missed.
taken that shot. And then Trump, because these guys are not listening to each other at all. Trump goes, I said to my sons, I said, about that shot, and they both are hunters. They're big game hunters, and they said, that's an easy shot. And then and Elon Musk is like, yeah. Like
they just
you
kept
don't
talking
realize
past
that they
each other.
completely contradicted each other. But again, I just want to say I apologize to those people who tuned in to listen because they thought that it was going to be better because I thought it was going to get better. So in the future, I'm going to...
All of you need to do better because you shouldn't expect that.
Yes, don't expect more than that. But
caveat loquitur or caveat. It's not emptor at that point because nobody paid for it, but it was like a
Volunteer.
caveat listentor. I don't know.
I mean, we can take something
Audio
positive. I don't know what you're even talking about.
Did you take Latin?
I did actually,
All right.
oddly,
That's why
and
she doesn't know what you're
completely
talking about.
worthless. It was just so I could take basically a second history class and not take a language. But long story short, what I do like is what this portends for Trump, because we know that DeSantis launched his campaign on the audio-only video or no video conference call platform X, and that went down in flames. And now Donald Trump, here we go, right? Yes, thank you for pulling this. I forgot. Trump truth socialed at that time, I guess a little over a year ago. Wow, the DeSantis Twitter launch is a disaster. His whole campaign will be a disaster. Watch. And you know what? If this goes the way that it did for the DeSantis campaign, they're back to obsessing over people's genitals. J.D. Vance has brought the DeSantis energy to the Trump campaign, and now he's launching or doing campaign events on Twitter Spaces.
This was him doing the interview.
Yep.
This is Trump on the space.
We have video, right? There's video.
Is that a
out
battery
there
on his
of the-
phone?
There's
Security.
There's a video out there. It would be interesting to see if he had to keep, doing this.
Yeah, it's weird.
But
I think the Trump stuff is probably the most important. I can't help but notice that the richest man in the world wishes that he was Lex Friedman very desperately.
Yes.
he's
terrible at it. He's the worst interviewer. He cannot string a
he was
sentence
not
together.
trying to interview. He was trying to have a conversation, and it was one of the most awkward experiences To be involved with it. Honestly,
Yeah, actually, so and trying to get a word in too.
And also, Elon, let's not talk about coups, because I'm old enough to remember when you basically said about Bolivia that we can coup anybody that we want because you want their lithium reserves. I mean, this is the kind of guy. He's really one to talk about the replacement of a Democratic presidential nominee before the convention being a coup when he's openly advocated.
well, he wasn't
for
even
coups
technically
before.
the nominee, right? He was just the
Not even
presumptive nominee.
right, exactly. Not even right. And this is how the conventions before, the primary process. Also, you would select candidates that way as well. So there was no legal mechanism for them to enforce that. But yeah, Elon once said, "We will coup whoever we want. Deal with it." So just deal with it, buddy.
That was when he had a red rose in his bio because he was saying that he was actually the real socialist.
Oh, right.
Very cool guy.
He's gone through different stages. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.